Are you? Okay. So yesterday we have seen that every finite separable extension is a simple extension, and this we proved as an application of the theorem which says that an extension is simple if and only if there are only finitely many subfields in between, right? So today we will do one more proof of the result that every finite separable extension is a simple extension. And why I want to give you another proof of the same, because the proof involves a very nice technique, so you should be aware of that. So before coming to the proof, I need a lemma and a density theorem. So first let me do this lemma. So it says that let's E over K be a Galois extension with Galois group G, and consider a subgroup H of G corresponding to the subfield F. That means H star is F, F star is H. So given alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, where in F we have F equals precisely K alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. This is if and only if the group leaving alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n fixed is H. Fine. So if F star is H, consider the generating set of F over K, which is alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. Then the group leaving alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n fixed is precisely H if and only if the generating set is alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. Right? So let's see the proof. So basically what is happening, uh, K contained in F, F contained in E, and E over K is Galois extension, it's given to you, and G is the Galois group. That's what is given to you. Alright. So let's first suppose that F is generated by alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n over K. Now you want that the group leaving alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n fixed is H. Suppose H dash, or I mean, if you want, you can call it something else. If so, what you want to call? Maybe mm, let's call it U. U with a group of what? Key automorphisms. किस पे? E पे. Group of key automorphisms on E leaving alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n fix. So what I want this U to be exactly equal to H. तो कौन किस में कंटेंट होगा? वन वे इंक्लूजन तो डायरेक्ट है, because you are saying F is equals to K alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, and F star is H, right? So that means every element of H fixes the elements of F. So H will be contained in U. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So clearly H will be contained in U. So we want only the reverse inclusion. For the reverse inclusion, suppose you have any automorphism in, let's say sigma in U. तो सिग्मा है क्या? K ऑटोमॉर्फिज्म है E पे और इन एलिमेंट्स को फिक्स रखता है, राइट? सो देन sigma alpha I is alpha I for all I equals 1 to n, and sigma is a K automorphism on E. तो K ऑटोमॉर्फिज्म है तो एवरी एलिमेंट ऑफ K को भी फिक्स ही करेगा, राइट? एंड द assumption is कि what you want, I want this sigma to be in H. सिग्मा H में कब होगा? when sigma will fix every element of F, then sigma will be in H. F क्या है? F is this. So we want to show that sigma will fix every element of F, right? So to show that sigma is in F star, so let's say you take any element in F, so let's say capital X in F. F है आपको कि alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. So then X will be of the form, so because you are working over a finite extension, right? So all these alphas are algebraic over K. So this is it's same thing as K alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. I hope it is, we have discussed already. Is that fine? So the point is every element here is a polynomial expression in alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n over K, because all these alphas are algebraic over K. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So X will be of the form polynomial expression होगा alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n में. तो I1, I2, In, it's a coefficient, then alpha 1 power I1, alpha 2 power I2, alpha n power In. ठीक है? तो x कुछ इस टाइप का होगा, वेयर ये जो I1, I2, In a subscript है where these are in K. ठीक. To now evaluate its image under sigma. Sigma of x will be sigma of this sum and because sigma is K automorphism, it fixes the it preserves addition, it preserves multiplication and it fixes the elements of K. तो summation तो बाहर ले लेते हैं. Then sigma A I1 I2 In, and because it preserves multiplication, so I can write sigma alpha 1 whole power I1 and so on sigma alpha n whole power In. So but then the point is sigma fixes alpha 1 alpha 2. Sigma alpha is alpha I and sigma is a K auto, so it will fix the elements of K as well. So this is precisely A I1 I2 In alpha 1 I1 and so on alpha n In, which is exactly x. So this is true for all x and f. So this means where is sigma? Sigma belongs to f star. F star is h. So you have the equality. And converse is quite trivial in the view of one-to-one correspondence. Conversely, suppose that the group leaving alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n fix is h, right? So then f star तो h दे ही रखा है स्टेटमेंट में. That's one thing. But one thing you have just seen in the previous implication part कि अगर कोई ऑटोमॉर्फिज्म अल्फा 1 अल्फा 2 अल्फा n को फिक्स कर रही है तो वो के अल्फा 1 अल्फा 2 अल्फा n को भी फिक्स करेगी. यही देखा था ना यहाँ पे था सिग्मा फिक्स कर रहा है अल्फा आई को फॉर ऑल आई और के ऑटोमॉर्फिज्म है. Then sigma will fix every element of f. That's what we have seen, right? तो
Yes, sir.
तो अगर कोई ऑटोमॉर्फिज्म है वो अल्फा 1 अल्फा 2 अल्फा n को फिक्स कर रही है तो वो के अल्फा 1 अल्फा 2 अल्फा n के एलिमेंट्स को भी फिक्स करेगी, राइट? तो दैट मीन्स ये जो h के एलिमेंट हैं वो के अल्फा 1 अल्फा 2 अल्फा n के एलिमेंट्स को भी फिक्स करेंगे. दैट मीन्स दिस विल बी सेम एज इट्स होल स्टार. इज दैट फाइन? ठीक है, क्योंकि h के एलिमेंट्स इसको फिक्स करेंगे.
Yes, sir.
And now because of the one-to-one correspondence you have the equality. There is one-to-one correspondence between subfields and subgroups. So f will be equal to k alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n. This is by one-to-one correspondence between subgroups of Galois group and subfields of Galois extension. So this completes the proof. there is another result known as density theorem. So because we will use, so let me give you the statement first, and if you ask I will give you the proof as well, though we will not ask proof in the exam. So fine. The theorem known as density theorem. So let's say f be an extension of an infinite field K. And what is happening? You have a polynomial in n indeterminates f(x1, x2, xn). It's a polynomial and non-zero. किसके ऊपर है? kx1, x2, xn के ऊपर. In kx1, x2, xn. xi's are indeterminates. So the statement says that then there exists c1, c2, cn in f. Statement may look quite obvious to you. c1, c2, cn in f, such that f c1, c2, cn is not zero. That's it. Got the statement? तो अगर सिंगल वेरिएबल के केस में जाए तो इट्स क्वाइट ऑब्वियस, क्योंकि सिंगल वेरिएबल है तो यू नो कि पॉलिनोमियल का एट द मोस्ट n रूट्स होते हैं. तो रूट के अलावा जो भी आप एलिमेंट चूज करोगे, बिकॉज यू आर वर्किंग ओवर एन इनफाइनाइट फील्ड के एंड के इज सिटिंग इनसाइड एफ, राइट? तो you pick any element other than the root, other than those root set, which is a set of n elements. So over that element, that polynomial will not be zero, right? So over a single variable, the statement is quite obvious, and even this is true for any n variables, right? So let me give you a quick idea of the proof, though we will not ask proof in the exam. So apply induction on n. So for n equals 1, you have fx in kx non-zero है, polynomial. So then, as I told you, fx can have at the most n roots. In k, and hence uh, there exists c in k, k contained है f में, such that fc is not zero. This is because k is infinite field, तो finite को हटा दो तो उसके बाद भी बहुत सारे एलिमेंट बचेंगे आपके पास. Now suppose the result is true up to m strictly less than n. where m is strictly less than n. And now you take, let's say, f x1 x2 xn polynomial in n variables over k, and it's a non-zero polynomial. So this polynomial we can write as a polynomial in xn over k x1 x2 xn minus 1. Is that fine? Then f x1 x2 xn, it is phi naught or x1 x2 uh, xn minus 1 plus phi 1 x1 x2 xn minus 1 and then xn and then some power, let's say n1, and so on. Finally it's, let's say, phi k x1 x2 xn minus 1 xn and power is some power, so let's say nk. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Where these phi i's are basically in k x1 x2 xn minus 1. तो n वेरिएबल्स का पॉलिनोमियल है, उसको xn में पॉलिनोमियल लिख सकते हैं कोफिशिएंट को kn minus 1 up to kx1 x2 xn minus 1 में भेज के. All right. So now what is happening? If phi 1, phi 2, phi k all are 0, if phi 1 equals phi 2 equals up to phi k and assume they all are 0, तो phi naught तो पक्का नॉन जीरो होगा, बिकॉज द पॉइंट इज कि ये जो f है ये नॉन जीरो है, इट्स ए नॉन जीरो पॉलिनोमियल, राइट? तो phi naught फिर जीरो नहीं होगा. देन phi naught will not be 0 as f x1 x2 xn is not 0. So now you are having the f is nothing but a polynomial, f is equals to phi naught, and phi naught is a polynomial in n minus 1 variables, so result is true by induction hypothesis. So thus by induction there exists c1 c2 cn. Basically I mean what is happening, पहले n minus 1 के लिए होगा, so c1 c2 cn minus 1, where in f such that phi naught c1 c2 cn minus 1, this is not 0, right? And now c you can choose any, thus for any c in f we have f c1 c2 cn and n minus 1, and then इसका xn को कोई भी c ले लो, even you can take 0 as well, because this is same as phi naught c1 c2 cn minus 1, and this cannot be 0, right? So this is happening when phi 1 phi 2 phi k all are 0. So now you may assume कि कम से कम एक तो नॉन जीरो होगा ही इनमें से. Now suppose that phi m is not 0, और ये m आपका एक से बड़ा है, राइट? सो दैट मीन्स सिंपली आई मीन phi 1 phi 2 phi k में से कम एक तो नॉन जीरो है, उसको मैं बोल रहा हूँ phi m. दैट्स इट. ओके, सो आई मीन m इस रेंज में है. ऑल राइट, तो इस फाई एम पे मैं इंडक्शन हाइपोथेसिस लगा सकता हूं. अगेन by induction hypothesis, there exists C1 C2 Cn minus 1 कहाँ पे F में, such that phi m C1 C2 Cn minus 1 this is not zero, right? This is not zero, so this would mean when you evaluate F C1 C2 Cn minus 1, और एक और था xn को xn ही रहने देते हैं, ठीक है. So this will be then phi naught plus phi 1 C1 C2 Cn minus 1 xn, and then sorry phi xn, and then पावर था n1 प्लस सो ऑन. इसमें एक टर्म phi m भी होगा, C1 C2 Cn minus 1 xn पावर n m and so on, और लास्ट टर्म phi k C1 Cn minus 1 xn power nk. Is that fine? So if you look at the right hand side, ये C1 C2 Cn अभी I mean basically what is this right hand side element? Yes, it's simply a polynomial in xn. Is that fine? It's a polynomial in xn over f, क्योंकि C1 C2 Cn minus 1 कहाँ पे है f में, तो ये पूरा कॉफिशिएंट कहाँ जाएगा f के अंदर, ये f के अंदर, ये f के अंदर, ये f के अंदर, तो इट्स ए पॉलिनोमियल इन xn over f. It's simply in f xn. Is that fine? ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
बट और ये k इनफाइनाइट फील्ड है, तो दैट मीन्स के, और k is sitting inside f, तो f भी इनफाइनाइट फील्ड है. पॉलिनोमियल कैन हैव एट द मोस्ट फाइनाइट रूट्स, तो वो जो फाइनाइट रूट है उसके अलावा कोई भी एलिमेंट आप चूज करोगे f में, तो ये नॉन जीरो मिल जाएगा आपको, राइट? दैट्स व्हाट आई एम लुकिंग फॉर. और ये नॉन जीरो है, दिस इज एज वेल, क्योंकि यू नो व्हाई दिस इज नॉन जीरो, क्योंकि एजम्पशन है फाई एम नॉन जीरो था, ये नॉन जीरो है, राइट? सो दिस कैनॉट बी जीरो. So but this is a polynomial in one variable xn over f, and hence there exists xn, I mean there exists what you want to call, maybe some cn बोल देते हैं उसको f में, such that f c1 c2 cn minus 1, अब xn की जगह cn रख दिया, and this is not zero. So this completes the proof. Okay, So now I can give you the proof of that every finite separable extension is a simple extension independent of the Galois correspondence. हालांकि correspondence को थोड़ा सा तो यूज करेंगे ही. Separable extension is a simple extension. But the proof involves a very nice technique. So that is why I want to give you a proof. And this is given in the book, in your book as well, right? So it is highly advisable to you all. I mean, इसको not to skip the proof. Don't think कि भाई एक proof हो गया तो दूसरा पढ़ने की क्या जरूरत है. Okay. So again, I mean, if this assume you have f over k finite separable extension. So let's say f over k be a finite separable extension. All right. So if f is a finite field, sorry, k is a finite field basically. K is a finite field, then finite extension of a finite field is finite. F is a finite field. And hence, as we have seen yesterday, so it's a simple extension. Basically, f is a finite field, so what you do, you consider the generator of f star that will generate f over k. So it's a simple extension. So assume it's an infinite field. So now suppose that k is an infinite field. Okay. So fine. Let's say E be the normal closure of f over k. Then I mean, E over k is a normal extension, and because f over k is separable, the normal closure of a separable extension is separable. I think we have discussed several times before as well. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So E over k is a Galois extension then. Then E over k is normal and separable, and hence a Galois extension. All right. So let's say G be the Galois group. E over K, and because F is in between K and E, तो F के corresponding एक subgroup होगा. So let's say F star is, let's call it H. All right. And because F over K is a finite extension, तो finitely many elements are generated होगा. So let's say F is generated by K alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. ठीक. Okay. So जो previous lemma है, just अभी जो lemma किया, then the fixed group of the set alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n is precisely H. बेसिकली जो प्रीवियस लेमा है वो यही तो बोलती है कि जो फिक्स्ड ग्रुप है फील्ड का, दैट इज एग्जैक्टली सेम एज द फिक्स्ड ग्रुप ऑफ जनरेटिंग सेट. तो जनरेटिंग सेट का जो फिक्स्ड ग्रुप इज सेम एज द फिक्स्ड ग्रुप ऑफ F which is H. All right. So now what I'm looking for, I want to show that this F over K is a simple extension. That means I want to replace alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n by a single element, right? So what I'm looking, I want to find beta in F such that F equals K beta, right? For such a beta to exist, the fixed group of beta will be precisely H. Is that fine? So what we want to find beta where in F whose fixed group is H. And once it is, then the by previous lemma result says that or so that F which is K alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n star, basically this is what H, this is what K. अगर ऐसा कोई बीटा मिल जाता है तो this is what same as K beta star, तो गलवा correspondence से F will be K beta, ये आ जाएगा. Is that fine? Is the argument all right to you? ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
देखो आई मीन कुछ कंफ्यूजन हो तो आप एक बार फिर से वापस वो लेमा पढ़ सकते हो. वेरी फर्स्ट टुडे इज वेरी फर्स्ट लेमा. फिर से मैं रिपीट कर देता हूँ एक बार इन केस यू हैव एनी कंफ्यूजन. ये अल्फा 1, अल्फा 2, अल्फा n क्या है? जनरेटिंग सेट है. F को जनरेट करता है K के ऊपर, राइट? तो द ग्रुप लीविंग एलिमेंट of F fix is precisely the group leaving alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n fix, right? तो generating set को जो fix कर रहा है group, that is exactly same as the group leaving every element fix, right? तो now come back to the current scenario. तो अगर मुझे ऐसा कोई बीटा F में मिल जाए जिसका ग्रुप H हो तो बात बन जाएगी. So such a beta I want to find. That's once I have such a beta, my problem will be solved. तो अगर ऐसा कोई बीटा F में होगा तो H के एलिमेंट तो बीटा को फिक्स करेंगे, बट दैट शुड बी shift by every element outside H. So such a beta will be moved by every element of G set minus H, क्योंकि व्हाट वी वांट कि ये जो बीटा H के प्रिसाइजली H के वो एलिमेंट्स हो जिनको जो बीटा को फिक्स करते हो, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम लुकिंग फॉर, राइट? तो such a beta will be moved by every element outside H, right? So I'm looking for such a beta. Now let's see what I'm doing. You consider the equation. तो lambda है कुछ, lambda I'm calling alpha 1 T1. अच्छा, okay. Yeah, that's fine. So alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n generating set, fine. So alpha 1 T1 plus alpha 2 T2 plus so on alpha n Tn. Okay, where Ti's are indeterminates. Where T1, T2, Tn are indeterminates. So any automorphism in G, any sigma in G acts on lambda as follows. So basically, I am going to define sigma lambda. Sigma lambda. So sigma lambda basically it is sigma alpha 1 T1 plus so on sigma alpha n Tn. Is that fine? ठीक है? कुछ कंफ्यूजन है यहाँ तक?
Yes.
Okay. So now my question is कि when sigma lambda will not be equal to lambda, or when sigma lambda equals lambda. देखो TIs तो indeterminate है, right? तो I mean, you want suppose sigma lambda equals lambda. That's what you are looking. That means ये side है sigma alpha 1 T1 so on sigma alpha n Tn. ये है आपका alpha 1 T1 alpha n Tn. That means के what is happening? Sigma alpha I minus alpha I dot Ti and then summation I from 1 to n. ये 0 है because this equals to this. तो ये जो TIs के coefficient collect कर रहे हो ये मिलेगा. अब TI तो indeterminate है, right? For this to be 0, that means you must have sigma alpha I equals alpha I for all I. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
तो
Sir, will that imply that sigma is identity mapping?
नहीं, आइडेंटिटी मैपिंग तो जरूरी नहीं है ना. सिग्मा अल्फा एच को फिक्स करेगा तो अल्फा आई को फिक्स करेगा, तो दैट मीन्स कि अल्फा 1 अल्फा 2 अल्फा एन को फिक्स कर रहा है तो एफ को फिक्स कर रहा है, तो एफ के ऊपर आइडेंटिटी मैप है. दैट मीन्स एफ को फिक्स कर रहा है, बट सिग्मा तो ऑटोमॉर्फिज्म ई पे है, तो ई के एफ के
Yes,
एलिमेंट्स
sir.
के
Yes.
बाहर जो एलिमेंट है उनको वो मूव कर सकता है.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that means what? Sigma lambda equals lambda if and only if sigma in H. Or that means
Yes, sir.
sigma moves lambda if and only if sigma is outside H. Sigma moves lambda means sigma lambda not equals lambda. If and only if sigma is outside H. That means G में तो है but H में नहीं है. What you do now? Consider a polynomial in T1, T2, Tn. T1, T2, Tn है क्या polynomial ये? Product sigma lambda minus lambda, or sigma is running over all the elements in complement of H. तो सिग्मा है G में सेट माइनस H. H से बाहर है, बिकॉज द पॉइंट इज अगर सिग्मा H में चला गया तो सिग्मा लैम्डा लैम्डा हो जाएगा, फिर ये 0 है, राइट? और ओह सॉरी, जस्ट वेट प्लीज वेट. और सिग्मा H में नहीं है, दैट मीन्स सिग्मा लैम्डा कैन नॉट बी इक्वल टू लैम्डा, राइट? फॉर ऑल सिग्मा आउटसाइड H, तो इट्स अ नॉन जीरो पॉलिनोमियल. ठीक, और ये पॉलिनोमियल किसके ऊपर है? It's I mean, look at this alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. तो इसका कोफिशिएंट जाएगा वेयर इज अल्फा 1, अल्फा 2, अल्फा n इन f में है, तो f में जाएगा, तो ये f t1 t2 tn में हो गया. इट्स इन what is happening? Just wait, huh? Please wait. f t1 t2 tn में. Okay. So and k is infinite, so f is infinite. So now you can use the density theorem. You can use the density theorem, right? So density theorem says that you must have an element C1, C2, Cn in F such that phi C1, C2, Cn is not 0. Is that fine? ठीक है. तो phi C1, C2, Cn is not 0. Now that means अभी ये जो लैम्डा क्या था आपका? लैम्डा था अल्फा 1 T1 प्लस अल्फा 2 T2 प्लस अल्फा n Tn, राइट? इस T1 T2 Tn की जगह अगर मैं रखता हूँ C1 C2 Cn, तो put beta to be alpha 1 C1, alpha 2 C2, alpha n Cn. तो ये जो phi C1 C2 Cn है ये नॉन जीरो है, राइट? ये नॉन जीरो है, दैट मीन्स के अब C1 C2 Cn इस सारे एक्सप्रेशन में आप रखोगे, इस फैक्टर में रखोगे सिग्मा लैम्डा, तो ये सिग्मा मतलब आई मीन द पॉइंट इज के मैं लिख देता हूँ चलो आपके लिए अभी लैम्डा में मैंने T1 T2 Tn को C1 C2 Cn सब्स्टिट्यूट किया राइट so that means alpha 1 C1 plus alpha n Cn this cannot be equal to C1 alpha 1 plus Cn alpha n क्योंकि अगर ये इक्वल हो गया तो ये तो फिर जीरो हो जाएगा और व्हाट आई नो कि डेंसिटी थ्योरम से ये नॉन जीरो है इज दैट फाइन
Yes, sir.
सो पॉइंट इज के दैट मीन्स के सिग्मा ये है क्या चीज ये तो बीटा इसको मैं बीटा बोल रहा हूँ लुक एट दिस पुट बीटा टू बी दिस इसको मैं बीटा बोल रहा हूँ दैट इज सिग्मा बीटा इज कैनॉट बी इक्वल टू बीटा एंड दिस इज हैपनिंग फॉर ऑल बीटा आउटसाइड एच तो मुझे वो बीटा मिल गया दैट्स द ट्रिक ठीक है और एच के अंदर जो एलिमेंट है वो तो बीटा को फिक्स करेंगे ही बिकॉज वो अल्फा 1 अल्फा 2 अल्फा n को फिक्स कर रहे हैं इज दैट फाइन ठीक है सो दिस वुड मीन H is the group leaving beta fixed and this would mean F beta star this is H sorry ये K होगा this will be K and this will be F star so this means F equals K beta so this completes the proof and in section 7.9 we will do up to here only so in the next lecture I will start section 7.10 so tomorrow we will start section 7.10 if you have anything from today's lecture you can ask me now